welcome to the sermon recap for this week. The title of our sermon is What True Wisdom Is, and it's based on the story of the wise men and their journey. So what do you think of when you think of wisdom? Well, we think of someone who has some experience, someone who is able to make choices that are good, that are appropriate, that are useful, and that aren't just self-seeking, that kind of thing. And one of the things that we're told is that someone who is wise has the ability to observe what is true and good, to choose what is appropriate and apply it to the uses of life. So we think about that as one of the contexts of the story. But the wise men, one of the things that they are known for is that they were studying scripture. They were looking for the clues that would guide them to when the Messiah or the Christ was to be born. And one of those clues was that a star would appear and it would guide them. And so when that star did appear, they followed it to where the Lord was. So searching scripture, of course, is something that a wise person would do, look for answers in the Lord's word. But also when they become clear, we follow them. We follow them and we try to do what they teach. And so one of the things that it says about the wise men too is that they traveled from the east to the east, which doesn't make a lot of sense geographically speaking, but what the east pictures where the sun rises is love to the Lord, love to God, or love in general. So what it talks about is how a wise person approaches things from love, and they're trying to be led toward a place of love. So that's what that talks about. The other thing that makes the wise men wise was that, well, when they went to Bethlehem, they didn't get there immediately. They went to Jerusalem, and they thought that's where the Lord was to be born. And what that pictures is Jerusalem pictures doctrine that teaches us how to live. And Bethlehem is a name that means house of bread or house of goodness. And that's where the Lord is born. The Lord is actually born within love in us. But to get to that place of love, we have to travel to Jerusalem or to the doctrine that teaches us how to get there. We can't just arrive at a place of love. We have to know what it is. We have to practice it and do it. And the other thing is that made the wise men wise was that they offered these three gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh, which are kind of the three things that we need to focus on in our spiritual life in order to become wise. The first is gold, which represents, again, love. So we want to be focused on becoming a loving person. The second thing is the frankincense, which is you would light it and it would send up a smoke aroma into the air. And it pictures how we lift our thoughts to higher things, that we think about spiritual things. So we don't entertain things in our mind that we know are selfish, that are hellish and those kinds of things. We try to entertain or think about things that are true and good. That's the frankincense. And then the myrrh is a type of ointment that was also fragrant, which was used for healing. And that pictures the idea that we actually have to apply these things to our life. We have to do them. So we love what's true and good. We think about it, we devote our thoughts to it, and then we try to live by it. And that is the formula for becoming wise. So ability to observe, choose, and apply a similar three things here. And that's our recap for the week. Good luck on your journey to wisdom, and we'll talk to you next time.